He's an unbelievable player. Yeah, he's one of the best players in the world, if not the best player in the world.
Those words came from Michael Jordan himself about LeBron James. And in that moment, you could feel the quiet power of humility. This wasn't just polite praise. It was the perspective of a man who knows his legacy doesn't depend on tearing anyone else down. When asked to compare eras, to defend his throne, Jordan didn't take the bait. Instead, he smiled and said, "I'm a fan of his. I love watching him play." Here's the ultimate competitor, the man who once dismantled opponents with surgical precision, now speaking like an elder statesman, secure enough to celebrate the greatness of those who came after him. He admits there's a natural tendency to compare eras, but takes it with a grain of salt. That's the wisdom that only comes when you've climbed the mountain and learned there's more to see beyond the peak. True legends don't cling to the past. They honor the evolution. And Jordan understands something most don't. The game is bigger than any one player. He helped make it that way.
The Dream Team started it, and it just led right into us playing here. And now you got two different teams playing. We got China, we got Africa now. So the game is expanding all over the globe. So
Jordan talks about basketball's global reach, not as a conqueror, but as a gardener, amazed at how far the seeds have spread. When he last played in Europe 3 decades ago, basketball was still an American game. Now, more than a quarter of NBA players are born outside the US. The ripples of that 1992 Dream Team have become waves crashing on every shore. But this isn't about markets or money. It's about access. Jordan's proud that the best player in the world could come from Greece, Serbia, or Cameroon. The monopoly is over, and he welcomes it. "I'm glad that I was a part of it," he says, "but I think it will keep getting bigger because of the passion of the game." Passion, that's the real export, the global language that needs no translation.
in terms of the market, Paris is all about fashion, and we see Jordan Brand as a leisure wear lifestyle brand. So the relationship was very, very easy.
Jordan didn't just change basketball, he changed culture. His collaboration with Paris Saint-Germain, sparked by Neymar's fandom, shows how the Jumpman has evolved into something more than a logo. It's a symbol of excellence, innovation, and identity. Paris, the capital of style, saw in Jordan Brand what the world saw in MJ himself, the perfect fusion of discipline and expression. When he says the relationship was very easy, he's really saying that greatness translates anywhere. The jump shot became a silhouette. The competitor became an icon. The man became a language the world speaks fluently, even those who never saw him play.
NBA is very fortunate to have a talented young man who shows a certain passion about the game.
When Jordan talks about Zion Williamson, he's not talking business, he's talking lineage. That fire, that obsession, that hunger, Jordan sees it because he once lived it. We can't play basketball for him. That line says everything. The greatest of all time, recognizing his own limits, knowing that mentorship can guide but never ignite. Jordan's role has shifted from player to platform, from spotlight to stage builder. And when Zion made his debut, Jordan wasn't just unveiling a new athlete. He was witnessing his reflection in a new generation.
I wouldn't be here without David Stern. Adam could say the same thing. He meant that much to the game. His vision was something that we took great pride in learning from. I learned a lot from him, not just as a basketball player, but then obviously when I moved into the business, he had a lot to do that.
Behind every legend, there's an architect. And for Jordan, that architect was David Stern, the commissioner who saw that basketball could be a global language and that Jordan could be its voice. Jordan's tone softens when he speaks about him. The words come slower, heavier. He admits he doesn't even have enough time to express his gratitude. It's rare to hear that vulnerability from a man so fiercely composed. Stern built the structure. Jordan filled it with meaning. Together, they didn't just grow a league, they reshaped global culture. As Adam Silver said, the two people who've had the greatest influence on basketball's growth outside the U.S. are Michael Jordan and David Stern. Vision and performance, a perfect duet.
It's great for our culture. It's great for the kids to understand and see a different country, for us to bond as a unit. So I think every team welcomes the opportunity to represent the NBA.
Now, as an owner, Jordan speaks like someone who's seen behind the curtain. He understands that when NBA teams play overseas, it's not just marketing, it's education. It's young players realizing how global their game truly is. He's no longer the player carrying the team. He's the builder, making sure the next generation has a foundation to stand on. The student became the teacher. The recipient became the provider. That's what legacy looks like, creating systems that let others thrive long after you've stepped off the court.
The NBA is very fortunate to have a talented young man who shows a certain passion about the game.
Jordan circles back to passion, the spark that connects every era. Because greatness doesn't expire, it evolves. One generation's excellence becomes another's inspiration. That's why Jordan can be LeBron's fan. He understands that every torchbearer lights the way for the next. The endless comparisons, Jordan versus LeBron, miss the truth entirely. The real story is continuity, the flow of excellence from one set of hands to another. As Adam Silver calls for a moment of silence for David Stern, the camera finds Jordan in the stands, not the player, but the owner, the bridge between eras. Around him are players from every continent wearing jerseys of teams he helped shape in a league he helped build. That's legacy. Not the trophies, not the stats, but the ripples that never stop. Jordan's greatness isn't trapped in the 90s. It's alive in every kid who dreams because of him, every international player who sees a path to the NBA, every athlete who believes that sport can be art, culture, and language all at once.
Meant that much to the game. His vision was something that we took great pride in learning from. I learned a lot from him, not just as a basketball player, but then obviously when I moved into the business, he had a lot to do with that. And I don't have enough time to pay as much thanks that I can pay to that man. He did a lot for the game of basketball.
We learn from those before us. We build for those after us. True greatness isn't about being the answer. It's about asking questions that echo for generations. It's about planting seeds you may never see bloom and trusting that somewhere, someone will keep the fire alive.